The major driving factor behind why so many people in the history of the world have not truly pursued their purpose in their work, not pursued what has been on their heart, is they make excuses because they're scared. And then they tell themselves, I'm being safe. And safe is always considered to be smart. I would challenge that thought. If you stay in a padded room your entire life, you'll be safe from a lot of physical harm until you lose your mind one day and you begin to harm yourself. Oh boy, now Ken just did it. Now he just did it. He got all serious on us. You want to look at a giant reason for suicides among adults? It comes from losing hope that they actually matter and making a difference. And where does that come from? If you spend your whole life going into work and seeing no reason for why you're there, no progress in your paycheck, no progress in your personal growth, start to believe the lie that you don't matter. This is real, folks. Do you know what they did? Do you know what the greatest monster in the history of the world did? Adolf Hitler. You know what he did to the Jews as torture? Some of you think, well, they physically beat them. Yeah, they did that. But you know what the torture was? And I've read these stories. I've read personal accounts of those who survived those evil concentration camps. They would have them get up and spend the entire day moving one pile of rocks to the other side of the camp, and then the next day they would move the pile of rocks to the other side. Torture. Why was that torture? Not because the work was hard. Not because of the weight of the rocks. Not because of the injuries of that physical labor, but because of the meaninglessness of the task. Whew. Torture. Torture. To make a man or a woman do a meaningless task all day long. And they lost their minds. Did things to be killed because they couldn't stand another day of doing meaningless work, of facing another day of a meaningless existence. I'm not saying they were right. They did matter. But I'm telling you that the safe, padded wall type of approach to life can eventually drive you to insanity and emotional barrenness. What we consider safe and smart isn't very safe. And I don't think it's smart. This life is a journey. It is an adventure. There will be times where you will have to take calculated risks, meaning that you do your homework, you go after it, and you might get rejected and your heart might get hurt. But guess what? Your heart will heal. You'll get better at it the next time. You are going to fail in your business idea, but guess what? If you step into it and figure out why you failed and do it better next time, then you'll succeed. Life is not without risk. Life is not without failure. Life is not without hurt. Life is not without rejection. Life is not without uncertainty. But all of those things, when we step into them, we become better. And the journey continues. And when the journey's over, we look back and we see the successes and we see the failures, we see the rejections, we see the hurts, and we say, it was worth it. It was worth it. So can I tell you today that when you hear that call from Kaylee, don't you look down your nose at her, because many of you are in the same situation. You're in your head And you're so scared about what might happen. And if you wall yourself off in that padded room, you run the risk of a meaningless existence. And that is the most dangerous, insidious enemy that we all face, is to begin to believe that lie, because it's not true. No matter how bad your situation is, you are not meaningless. That's why I remind you at the end of every show, you matter, you have what it takes. Because I know what you're facing. I've laid there at 2 a.m. at 33 years of age and asked myself, have I blown it? Did I waste all my time going down this path? And is this new path that my heart is beating out of my chest, telling me I need to do, is that delusion? Am I going to be able to take care of my wife and 3 babies? I've laid there, sleepless, miserable, scared, doubt, pride, fear, doubt, and pride have owned me, beat me up. I know what it feels like. And all of those voices are lies.